Hey everybody, today we're doing a why is it? And the why is it is about how are you able to buy a next calendar year car in the current calendar year that you're in? And I never understood this, and then I always was curious about it because somebody asked me the other day, how old is your truck? And I told them it was a 2002. And it got me thinking that it probably wasn't sold in 2002. Realistically, it was probably sold in 2001. And I'm wondering in my mind, why is that? Nothing else I know of is sold the year prior and then marked the next year. And what I found out after I did a little deep dive was pretty interesting. So let's dig in. Okay, so probably the easiest thing to do would be go back to the beginning on when this started, and that would be in the 1930s. Back in the 1930s, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, FDR, signed an executive order that required automakers, didn't ask them, it required them to actually release their next year's cars in the fall of the year prior. So you're thinking to yourself, why did he do this? This is pretty big. I mean, to require a company to release their next year models then seems pretty odd. But so the explanation basically was that during the transition from one car year to the next, there's usually a downtime or an idle time. And the auto workers weren't working then, and at least a majority of them. So he wanted them working. So if you think about when they're not working during the major holidays towards the end of the year, Christmas, Hanukkah, Thanksgiving. Uh, and those were big holidays and also big spending holidays. See where I'm going with this. So what he said is that, hey, we want you to come out with your cars in fall. That way, all the auto workers would be gainfully employed during these holidays, getting paychecks, spending that money, and thus bolstering the economy. So the big question now is, do they still need to be doing this? And the resounding answer is no, they don't need to be doing this. Not at all. They're doing it of their own accord right now. Realistically, it's most likely a strategic marketing move. Launching new models prior to the year end creates anticipation and buzz for their products or their cars. And it also allows manufacturers to steal the spotlight from their competitors to showcase cutting edge features or new innovations. So it really seems to me like it's a carefully orchestrated dance between design, production, and what the consumer expects of these auto manufacturers to innovate and come out with new stuff. But I also want to leave you with this very interesting takeaway from all of this. The EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency that governs all of this, why? No clue. I have no idea on why they would regulate what comes out what year and what doesn't. They say basically you have almost the entire year to introduce your car. So what this means is they don't have to follow the fall thing that they would originally set up underneath FDR. They, in theory, are allowed to, as of January 2nd, to sell the next year's car. So take 2024 that's coming up. On January 2nd, any manufacturer can start selling a 2025 model car. And that goes all the way up until December 31st. So they can release it anytime they want in that period of time, which kind of makes you wonder. I'm like, okay, so I'm talking about my truck again. So it's a 2002. And if we're in 2023, almost 2024, let's use 2024. I'd be looking at a 22-year-old car or truck. But realistically, it could have been sold, early 2021. And not over this lifespan does it matter, but if you're buying a used car, you don't know if it actually has almost up to a year of extra wear and tear on it. Might have the mileage, everyone goes by the mileage, but there are some things in a car, having doing a lot of auto repairs myself, that over time you just need to replace just by time, not over mileage. So I found this really interesting. So I'm hoping you did too. Be sure to follow me for more of this type of stuff. And until then, take care.